Cam, when you got back in the lineup after everything that went down, you said you just were focused on finishing the season strong.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel like you went about doing that?
I thought it was better. Just being able to play with a little bit more freedom and, maybe not gripping the stick as tight. That's, as a player, that's, everything in a way. And it felt good to kind of get back to that and, have that mindset. So it was good.
After the injury of the season, how long did it take you to kind of get back to feeling like yourself?
Maybe 2-ish weeks, I would say. For a little bit there, I was probably not, 100% or where I needed to be physically. It kind of sucks just the timing of it, because the first maybe 10 games you're kind of, getting your body ramped up for the season and getting your legs under yourself. And, I felt like I was just kind of playing catch up after that. So, but our training staff did a good job, and throughout the year it was something that we were kind of working on. So, I'm excited to go into the off season on a healthy note and have a good off season of training and come into camp 100%.
Go ahead.
What do you think you need to do to get back to being that top defender that you were 2 seasons ago?
I think there's a few things that happen that will help me. I think, like I said, going to the off season, having a good training summer is going to help me, and just playing free. Like when I'm not thinking out there, that's when I'm at my best. And I'm excited for the start of next year to get back to those ways and being that 200-foot player that I can be. So.
Do you think that the I guess tension between you and John Tortorella, that contributed to maybe you not playing as free as you would like?
I don't think I had necessarily much of a leash, but at the end of the day, I didn't play to the level that I can, and I think that's probably the most frustrating thing for me. You can say all you want about me and the coach, but at the end of the day, I didn't do my part and didn't play good enough on my end. So that's kind of how I look at that.
Was it frustrating at all, because when you look at the power play struggled, and it seemed like you were the only defenseman that never really got a chance to play power play. Is that something that you feel like you can still do and contribute in, and how tough was that to really never get a chance to do it?
Yeah, I know I can, but it was pretty clear early on that wasn't going to be the case. I kind of could feel it. Of course, I would have loved to have been on a power play and do that and probably help my numbers maybe a little bit, but it's just not how it worked out this year, and that's all right. I focused on my 5-on-5 game and tried to be the best that I could there. But yeah, I would have loved to, but it's not how it happened. So.
Jamie Drysdale had a lot of good things to say about you as a player, and he said that he was excited to maybe stay on a deep pairing with you going into next season. Is that something that you'd want as well?
Yeah, a really good hockey mind. It's cool playing with a guy like that, somebody that I think we're both thinkers of the game. We're not overly physical. We use our legs more than anything and think our way through problems versus, a guy like Risto. He plays up, and it's just a different style, but it was cool just, us being such good friends off the ice to be able to play together on the ice. I think that helped us, and it's something that, it would be really good to revisit that next year.
Is there, Cam, like an element of excitement or just about possibly a new coach? Not that it had anything to do with you and John Tortorella, but more just like a new voice that could bring some change.
Yeah, I think you saw that with Shazi there at the end. Just a different voice and a different, maybe style or mindset for a lot of the players. So I think it would be a breath of fresh air to kind of just have that different voice, and I know a lot of guys are excited for the start of next year. So.
In terms of Restro, though, everyone has spoken very highly of him and how he's helped develop their game. How has he helped develop your game?
Yeah, he's since my first year with him, he's been great to me, and he's I would say an overthinker in a good way of the game. I think he would probably admit that himself, but he's just really good at sitting down with guys, going over video. Like, you know, he tells you how it is in a good, honest way. And I would say, like, him and Torts, just the difference was just like the details. And Torts is probably more like meat and potatoes, and he was just more specific and detailed with how he would describe things. But he's done a lot for me, and you know, helped develop my game in a good way, I feel like, and taught me things that I didn't even think of prior to him. So yeah, he's been good for me, and yeah, we'll see what happens this off season with the coaching staff. But
Cam, what do you think you need to do to, you know, unlock the like the point production side of your game? You're obviously a big point producer at Michigan. At the US NDDP hasn't quite come around yet at the NHL level. Obviously, power play time is part of it, but what do you think you need to do to bring that to the program?
I mean, I just talked with Danny about it. I think you know, offensively, playing more free, like making more plays. I think I can do a better job of getting pucks through from the blue line, and you know, I didn't feel like laterally I was as good this year in terms of, you know, using my space and my legs that I have the ability to do it. I wasn't doing it. So I think there's, you know, a few things offensively that I can do that will definitely help that. Like you said, obviously power play points are that's a different story, but I think it's something that I'm going to revisit this summer for sure, and you know, next year, you know, kind of come into the season with a little bit different mindset.